Welcome to In Pursuit of Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mack, a.k.a. Pursucius Maximus. Boys and girls, stretch your hammies, strap on your seatbelts, and keep your hands inside the vehicles at all times. We're going for a ride. So, let's go! First things first, let me take you to my home YouTube page and refer you back to my last video entitled Cyberbunk In Pursuit of Truth Presents from the First. And if you've not seen this video, why not? This is a good video. It's a bitchin' video. I mean, look at it. Just look at it. This one was good too. But we're talking about this one. And we were talking about these raids, and I want to get way into them because we did in this video. But we talked about a couple of tech guys that were running these servers out of these multiple bunkers, and their place was raided. They had previously had some problems with synthetic drugs. Looks like they found that. They found child pornography and all kinds of different dark web stuff going on. Lots of servers being raided. We had one in Germany. We had one in the Netherlands, Poland, Luxembourg. Multiple raids, and this was a 5-year operation, kind of culminating in at least this raid that we saw in, I hope I'm saying this right, Chabak, Germany. But anyway, please go check that video out because I want to rehash all the details. I just want to remind you that this was taking place the other day. And particularly in this base in Germany, this was a former NATO base. And that got me kind of curious. So I went and did a little digging. And I stumbled upon this from the 7th Weather Squadron. There is their logo right there. E Nubibus Informatio. Precisely how you say it in Latin. Don't judge me. And there it is. You got a cumulonimbus cloud right there, M1 rifle, and a USB hard drive. No, I'm just kidding. It's a psychrometer. Anyway, it means information from the clouds, and that's not how you say it in Latin. I get it. Anyway, so I wanted to point out that this was, it seemed like they had a detachment here at Chabak, and really not much about it, but even less about this particular squadron here. On August 1st, 1996, the 617th no, Weather Squadron was deactivated and once again redesignated the 7th Weather Squadron under the 4th Air Support Operations Group, 3rd Air Force. Okay, probably nothing there, but I thought that was interesting. And it doesn't seem like a very big group, but if you're familiar with this 617th Weather Squadron, please email me. I'd love to hear what was going on over there. But anyway, it looks like some weathery stuff, and I want to point out this down here. The operations, the 7th Weather Squadron mission is to enhance U.S.-EU COM, being U.S.-Europe land component effectiveness by equipping aligned warfighters to fully exploit weather impacts in planning and decision-making processes. Provide fully trained battlefield airmen to support command direct taskings across the full spectrum of expeditionary squadron capabilities. There are currently 70 members in the 7th Weather Squadron, so not many. They consist of AF meteorologists, airfield systems with support staff, knowledge operations managers, and personnel specialists. The squadron is responsible for over $4 million in resources and equipment. Kestrel 4000, and a Kestrel 4000, isn't that just like, it's a little handheld thing? You can buy those on Amazon. No wonder. Tactical meteorologic observation system, laser range finders, iridium phones, and Humvees. Okay, so I don't see anything particularly suspect, but I just wanted to point out that they are checking out the weather out there, and that makes sense. Okay, so here we get all these bunkers raided in multiple nations, and nobody's really talking about this story, right? And all of a sudden we get this from Reuters. Vatican police raid top offices and financial investigation. Vatican police raided the offices of the Holy See's Secretariat of State and its Financial Information Authority, or AIF, on Tuesday and took away documents and electronic devices as part of an investigation of suspected financial irregularities, a Vatican statement said. It was believed to be the first time the two departments were searched for evidence involving alleged financial crimes. The Secretariat of State, the most powerful department in the Vatican, is the nerve center of its bureaucracy and diplomacy and the administrative heart of the worldwide Catholic Church. The AIF, headed by Swiss lawyer René Brillhart, is the financial controller with authority over all Vatican departments. The Vatican statement gave no details except to say that the operation was a follow-up to complaints filed in the summer by Vatican Bank and the Office of the Auditor General and were related to financial operations carried out over the course of time. A senior Vatican source said he believed the operation, which the statement said had been authorized by Vatican prosecutors, had to do with real estate transactions. Since the election of Pope Francis in 2013, the Vatican has made great strides in cleaning up its often murky financial reputation. Yeah. Last year, a former head of the Vatican Bank and an Italian lawyer went on trial to face charges of money laundering and embezzlement through real estate deals. It is still in progress. In May, the AIF said reports of suspicious financial activity in the Vatican reached a 6-year low in 2018, continuing a trend officials said showed reforms were in place. For decades, the bank, officially known as the Institute for Works of Religion, or IOR, was embroiled in numerous financial scandals as Italians with no right to have accounts opened them with the complicity of corrupt insiders. Hundreds of accounts have been closed at the IOR, whose stated purpose is to manage funds for the church, Vatican employees, religious institutes, or Catholic charities. In 2017, Italy put the Vatican on its whitelist of states with cooperative financial institutions, ending years of mistrust. The same year, Moneyval, a monitoring body of the Council of Europe, gave Vatican financial reforms a mostly positive evaluation. Okay, so I'm not really sure here. This seems very strange. Obviously, the Vatican is kind of its own little entity, right? It's not even really a country. It's kind of its own, well, I guess it's kind of its own country. But here, it looks like they've raided themselves, so it's really hard to know what's really being done here. Is this a true raid? Are we really going to expose some financial irregularities? I'm not so sure. Given the Vatican's history, it's hard to really know who to trust here, especially when you see them policing themselves. But I find this very interesting that we had these bunker raids, and then, of course, Bill Barr travels to Rome, along with John Durham, and now Mike Pompeo. Everybody's in Rome, and all of a sudden Rome's cleaning itself up. Just saying. Okay, so raids on bunkers, raids on the Vatican, and of course it wouldn't be a trifecta if we didn't have some Democrats thrown in there. This is from explainlife.com. FBI raids Democrats' offices and homes amid massive corruption probe. Oh, look at that. Boxes and boxes. FBI agents were seen on Tuesday carrying brown evidence bags as they raided Democrat Illinois State Senator Martin Sandoval's offices as part of an ongoing criminal investigation. How about that? An ongoing criminal investigation. Federal agents raided Sandoval's Capitol office in Springfield, his district office in the Chicago suburb of Cicero, and his Chicago home. Several images surfaced online showing federal agents transporting boxes, brown bags, and possibly a desktop computer from Sandoval's offices into two SUVs. The raids are rumored to be connected to Sandoval playing a key role in helping implement a 19-cent increase in the gas tax to help fund Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker's $45 billion plan to rebuild roads, bridges, and schools. And I want to stop right there real quick. For those of you who might not be familiar, J.B. Pritzker, although we're not going to go into him today, he actually is going to be a subject of some future material coming from me. But I just want to point out that is from the Hyatt Hotel chain fame, basically, that Pritzker family, one of the wealthiest families in America. And J.B. Pritzker, his sister is Penny Pritzker. And she's pretty sketch too, but Governor J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois, and he's long been pretty sketch, but I just want to point out that is the Hyatt Hotel fame, and like I said, more to come on them. Several men in dark suits and ties could be seen walking from the Senate Democrat side of the Capitol, carrying the bags and boxes of material. The word evidence could be seen written across at least one of the bags. Well, that's pretty telling right there. Republicans criticized him in August when a photo from a fundraiser appeared on social media showing what appeared to be a mock assassination of President Donald Trump. Sandoval later said he neither nor his staff was aware that an entertainment vendor had a beverage dispenser shaped like a rifle and pointed it at someone wearing a Trump mask. Classy. It wasn't clear whether Sandoval's work on the gas tax plan or his fundraiser had anything to do with the raids. And again, real quick, like I said, there's more to come on the Pritzkers, but fundraising seems to be kind of their thing, including Penny. And if you look up Penny Pritzker, she worked for Obama, and you'll get plenty there. But like I said, more to come. Anyway, here's some tweets from Amy Cheapo. I don't think that's what she means to say. There's the boxes and boxes. Anyway, so more raids, more Democrats, more boxes. Now, from the Aviationist, updated Collings Foundation B-17 G crashes at Bradley International in Connecticut. 5 killed. Injuries reported. B-17G 909 was one of only 10 flying B-17s. The World War II era B-17G Flying Fortress, named 909, has crashed at Bradley International Airport in Windsor Locks, Connecticut at approximately 10 o'clock a.m. local time on Wednesday. 6 injuries are being reported from the accident as photos of smoke rising from the scene are appearing in news and social media. The condition of the 6 persons reported as injured in the crash has not been specified yet, although reports suggest 4 persons are hospitalized. The aircraft involved in the crash was one of only 10 remaining flyable Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress bombers. The aircraft wore civil registration number N93012 and the restored military registration aircraft 42-31909. The aircraft was originally built as military registration 44-83575. A report by CBS Boston included a statement from Bradley International Airport that said, "We can confirm there was an accident involving a Collings Foundation World War II aircraft this morning at Bradley Airport." The airport tweeted, "We have an active fire and rescue operation underway." And there you have a picture of the plane. Beautiful plane. And you can see another blown up picture of the tail wreckage right there. But I want to point out something very specific. If you look at the tail, you see the big pyramid there with the letter A. Then you've got the number, and then you've got R down below. AR. Interesting indeed. And let me show you why. Got a flashback aside, take you back. Taking you back to September 30th, there was a story from the New York Post that I found very curious. That's why I posted my little curious face right there. Brooklyn woman who ran an unlicensed daycare arrested for child sex abuse. And of course, this is a really terrible story, but what was so curious was that here we have this table with all these letters and numbers. Let's look at them, shall we? And here it is, and I suppose there's lots that you can kind of take away from this picture, but I just want to point out the couple obvious things. That right smack dab middle of the table, you see a big red go. But let's go ahead and take this picture. We're going to flip it vertically and horizontally. And you can see right here that on the flashcards, we have a big AR. All right, so this story sounds super, super sketchy to me too. Here's a tweet from Andrej Fiala. Boeing B-17G Flying Fortress, registration N93012, and this is the construction number 32264, crashed at Windsor Locks Bradley International Airport. All right, I want to point out that that's an interesting construction number right there, 322. And for those of you who are not familiar with that, that is the number of the skull and bones. So we were just talking about these bunkers. And particularly this one we talked about yesterday was from back in World War II, Air Force Base. Now we have a downed Air Force plane. We've got all these raids on Democrats, and we've got these raids going on in the Vatican. I'm not sure if they're all connected, but I find it very, very interesting that no one's talking about this Air Force Base raid. Seems like it would be big, big deal. Military-grade security on an Air Force base, a former NATO base that happened to have drugs and child porn. Now we have a B-17 go down with 322 in the construction number. Now, I'm not usually big on all the number stuff, but I can usually tell when simple math kind of adds up. Now, as far as the New York Post picture, I'm not really sure. I found it very interesting then. That was a few days ago, and now we have this event. So I'm not really sure. I don't want to conflate any of these events, but something creepy definitely seems what's up. But if you do have, if you're in the area too, and you have any information as to this crash or the people that were involved in the crash and how they are doing, please let us know. All right, so from the creepy and highly coincidental to the potentially creepy and also coincidental. 6 News, simulated gunfire planned for Halloween scenes filming at CFCC downtown campus. This is out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Crews will be on Cape Fear Community College's downtown campus next week to film scenes for the movie Halloween Kills. According to a film permit, filming will take place on Monday, October 7th and Tuesday, October 8th at the corner of Walnut and Water Streets, as well as the Gale House building located at 411 North Front Street. Filming is scheduled to take place between noon and 8 a.m. each day. The film permit states that prop guns and blanks will be used during filming, along with simulated gunfire and smoke effects. 8 cast members will be involved in filming, along with more than 300 extras. The following street closures will be in place during filming. And that's Walnut Street between Water and Front Streets. Cotton Exchange traffic will be able to exit right onto Walnut Street closure. Okay, you can read that for yourself if you'd like, if you are in the area. In July, a spokeswoman for Blumhouse Productions confirmed that both Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends would be filmed in the port city. And of course, if you're not familiar, Halloween is a long-running franchise, horror franchise. Okay, so let's take a look at the Googly. And there it is, smack dab in the middle of your screen. Cape Fear Community College, right between Red Cross Street and Walnut Street. Not symbolic at all. Remember, it's Red October. Okay, so I don't really want to imply anything nefarious. It is the Halloween franchise, and this is probably on the up and up, but I do want to point out that Mystic Mac has had a history for having a nose for these things. We've seen this in Chicago. We've seen this in Pittsburgh. We saw this in Long Beach. We've seen this in LA. We've seen this quite a few times, and you know, it just seems very, very odd that whenever we put out a call for mass events, whether it's a filming, whether it's a military exercise or a training drill or whatever, it always seems that we have a corresponding event in the area. And that's all I really want to point out. So if you're in the North Carolina area and if you see anything suspect, please email me or let me know, or let people know who you think could help. And again, it may just be the shooting of a movie. But I do want to point out, I've been on a number of film sets, and I found it very curious that the article mentioned there's going to be 300 extras, which isn't abnormal, but only 8 cast members, which is a little abnormal. Now, it's not so abnormal that it's nefarious. You know, it's a horror movie, so there might only be 8 people left. So I wouldn't say that that's outwardly all that nefarious. But they said they needed a permit because they were going to have all kinds of flashing and simulated gunfire. That's curious to me because most scary Halloween movies or any kind of horror movie usually doesn't involve gunfire. It's usually more action movie stuff. This usually involves machetes and bats and slow chases and hockey masks and people always slipping while they're getting chased, and you just sit there and you're like, oh, you're so stupid, get up, right? So who knows? But I found that very curious. Nothing more, nothing less, but curious indeed. So, like I said, if you're in the area, you know anything about this, and you have anything that you can contribute, either contribute to your locals, or you can send me some information via email. And finally, from CBS 5 Bay Area, Santa Cruz Tech executive kidnapped, suspect car found with body. An intense manhunt, and that's like a regular manhunt with no chill, is underway for the suspects who kidnapped a well-known businessman from his beachfront home Tuesday morning in Santa Cruz. Somebody broke into his house last night and kidnapped him at 3 a.m. We have no idea why. We have no idea who. A friend named Christopher Lockhead made an emotional plea on Facebook. We need everybody, all of our friends, the entire community, to get behind this effort and support our sheriff's department and the FBI and law enforcement in finding Tushar. Tushar Ache, 50, was kidnapped from his home on the 3000 block of Pleasure Point Drive, according to Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office investigators. At 10 a.m., deputies discovered the white BMW that he was last seen in on Soquel San Jose Road, as well as a body that has not yet been identified. Deputies said more than one suspect kidnapped Atre and forced him into his girlfriend's SUV. Crime scene investigators combed both crime scenes for hours. So they found this body here, and I wouldn't know if it's him or the girlfriend, but I find it very, very odd. They don't say much about the girlfriend, but they put him into her SUV. Neighbors said the crime was horrifying and unusual for the quiet street that is frequented by surfers and known for its multi-million-dollar properties. A neighbor who wanted to remain anonymous said Atre lived in Pleasure Point for more than 20 years and that he moved into the Pleasure Point Drive home 2 years ago. Atre founded and became the CEO of AtreNet, a web marketing and design company. And I didn't find much nefarious on that, really. It just looked like a web design company. A friend who also didn't want to be identified told KPIX Spy that Atre made enemies over his business deals, and specifically with his company. Well, that sounds revealing. However, Glassdoor.com reveals Atre may not have been well liked by his employees at AtreNet. One poster wrote, "The CEO, Tushar Atre, doesn't value anyone but himself." Another poster left a review that said, "Total abusive nightmare. The worst employment experience of my life. You've been warned. Run away now." It'd be interesting to see when those posts actually came from. And then this was what was curious. One neighbor said, "A lot of things are going to come out." All right, well, I want to know what this neighbor knows. This neighbor sounds like they know what's up. A lot of things are going to come out. Well, what things? Somebody needs to interview the neighbor. All right, Patriots, that's all I got for you for now. Please keep Bernie Sanders in your thoughts as he undergoes heart stent surgery. Sounds pretty serious. Sounds like it may even sideline him from campaigning, which is kind of a bummer if you think about it. He was probably the most vigorous of the bunch. Anyway, he's not feeling so well, so we wish him the best, even though he is a pinko commie. Feel better, Bernie. I'm trying to be nice. I really am. I just don't want to pay your health care. Hope some of that comes out of pocket. That's all I'm saying. But we do wish you feel better. We really do. Anyway, as always, if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. And if you didn't like this video, well, get in line. All my links are down below. My Gab, my BitChute, my DropSpace. I'm over there at Twitter at IPOT1776. IPOT1776, where I provide snark on the reg. And I'm also over there at Gab at IPOT1776. All those links are down below in the video description. And for those of you who don't know where that is, just look down below the video. You'll see a little show more button. Click on it and magic will appear. All the answers you've ever wanted that are always provided in the end of my videos that nobody watches. No, I'm just kidding. Some of you do, and I greatly appreciate it. And all those links are down below to my alternate channels, and my email's down there if you want to send me some information. My P.O. box is down there if you want to send me something old school. And if you'd like to support the channel, my Patreon link is down below. And of course, the links to today's show notes are down below too. It's all down below in the video description. Click the show more button. Click the show more button. And I'm going to show less because I'm going to get out of here. My name's Sir Patrick Mack. And until next time, stay focused.